perceived that the ship swinging to her anchor with the flood tide was now obliquely pointing towards the open ocean. The prospect was unlimited, but exceedingly monotonous and forbidding. Not the slightest variety.
"Well, what's the report?"
said Peleg.
"What did ye see?"
Not much, I replied. Nothing but water. Considerable horizon though, and there's a squall coming up. A true storm.
"Well, what dost thou think then of seeing the world? Do the wish to go round Cape Horn to see any more of it, eh? Can't ye see the world where you stand?"
Moby Dick, Chapter 16, by Herman Melville.
After these things, the Lord appointed other 70 also, and sent them 2 and 2 before his face into every city and place, whither he himself would come. To therefore said he unto them, The harvest truly is great, but the laborers are few. Pray ye therefore the Lord of the harvest, that he would send forth laborers into his harvest. Luke chapter 10, verses 1 and 2.
Praise the Lord, everyone. We're back. I hope you liked last week, and make sure you tune in next month. We're going to have another one in the series of the Sermon on the Mount. I'm going to bring someone else in, hopefully a different voice and a different perspective. But this week, we're back on track. In fact, we're making another lap around the track. This would be the first time going back to a piece of literature that last year we did touch on, Moby Dick, Herman Melville. This week, we want to look at the main character and the narrator, Ishmael. There's a phrase, and I'll share it with you through this, that has kind of ingrained itself into my way of thinking. It's something that I tell myself at certain moments: lower the boats. Ishmael was, he had been a merchant sailor, but never a part of the whaling industry. And the quote that you heard at the beginning of this video was Ishmael trying to get on this boat, the Pequod. And he is speaking with not the captain of the boat, but a previous captain and now an owner, a Quaker man, a religious man. And he says one of the reasons that he wants to go on this vessel and become a whaler is he wants to see the world. And Peleg says, go to the bow of the boat and tell me what you see. Ishmael comes back and he sees not much. I see water, and I see a huge horizon, and way in the distance, I see a storm coming. And Peleg says, do you need to go all the way around the world? Haven't you seen it right now? But as he does get on the boat, you see that there's this Pequod. Is a microcosm, and Melville, I certainly meant it this way, of our world, of our existence. Many of these men are from every corner of the world, and all of them had this same idea. At one point, I want to see the world. And when they dreamed, if you were a Polynesian man and you dreamed of seeing the world, you might think of the coasts of Massachusetts, and then the man in Massachusetts is saying, I want to get in this boat to see the world. And Peleg says, he's, that salt water is vein. He's been out there. He says, you see it. What you see here is what you will see there. It's through the eyes and experience of a man that we take in this creation of the world. The number of nationalities and races that Mr. Melville includes on the Pequod is, like I said, it's no mistake. There's Quebec, who is Ishmael's harpooner and becomes his, real confidant and blood brother, if you will. He is a Polynesian from a fictitious island. There is Tashigo, which is a Native American man. There is Diego, who is an African man. And then at this particular moment that we're going to talk about, another man comes out, Fadala, who is a Persian man. And, but along with that, all the crew members, nationalities mentioned, French, Iceland, Netherlands, Azores, Sicily, Malta, China, Chile, Denmark, Portugal, India, England, Spain, and African American. All of these, cornucopia of men and experience find themselves in this boat. And it is during this time that they are all on the boat and they bring in their cultures and bring in their ideas, bring in their experiences. There's a chapter in this book called The First Lowering. And this describes exactly that. There are smaller boats on the side of the large, safety of the main Pequod, the main boat. There are these smaller boats where the real work is actually done. But it's the lowering of these small boats where the whaling act, by far the most dangerous aspect of this profession, happens after the lowering of the small boats. And in this chapter, it describes all of these men with all of their background, with all of their nationalities in these small boats. Some men, it might be their 100th time. And Ishmael, this is his first time. And it speaks of the fear and the anticipation of leaving the guaranteed and casting out into the unknown. This level of faith intermingled with fear and trepidation, sometimes self-doubt. It is a dangerous profession, and this is the moment that's most dangerous, but it's the moments before where we get to see inside this universal experience of all these men. And I think it's by no mistake lowering the boats. I will tell you in this book, even fighting Moby Dick, this monstrous Leviathan, who represents death. He represents fear. He in a way, he represents our confrontation with what life gives us. Lower the boats. There's been a lot of moments. I feel that when I know this is my calling, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, but there's still this feeling that if I actually have to, maybe Peter's example of stepping off the boat is a little heavy-handed, but certainly Jesus telling first all 12, he didn't hold any back, all 12 of them, I'm sending you out 2 by 2. But the comfort and guarantee of this group is going to wane. You are going to be sent out into the world. And Jesus also sends 72 out, 2 by 2, to prepare whether he would go. And I know that these men felt similar to the men sitting, high up in the boats as they're being lowered down in the water. Is I'm afraid. What if this doesn't go the way I think? What if God's not there with me? What if I've gotten it wrong? Am I ready for this? 2 by 2, is the brother next to me in the boat or sister next to me in the boat? Is this the right person for me? Lower the boats. Still the call, lower the boats, 1 foot in front of the other. Jesus, I think, puts us in these situations to not test our faith, but to prove our faith, to build our faith. And I think the universality that the men and crew of the Pequod experienced, all Christians will experience this as well. And this is what this video is about. And this is why I think this aspect of the book is so tangible to the reader and can stick with you. Like I said, this phrase, lower the boats, it kind of goes in my mind every time where I'm in a situation where I know it is my calling. I know it's the right thing to do, but I'm afraid. And in my mind, I say, lower the boats. It's humbling. That is really the first step. It's humbling to admit that I will not have all control here. And we certainly like to build environments in 2026 to where, we control the temperature, what we eat, what we control every aspect of life. And it is humbling sometimes to loosen that grip that current culture allows us to hold so tight, our environment, to sometimes let go of those things and step out into the unknown. Lowering the boat, you got to feel that when you're involved in any type of love. You've got to go in. You've got to go all in And not just falling in love with your sweetheart, which, that's it, but loving God as well, loving your brother despite his fault. You've got to lower the boats. We can't always stay in the comfort of the guarantee that things are going to go the way I want them to go, that every day is going to be this domino effect of my conjuring. This is not the calling of a Christian. We have to lower the boats in any aspect of love, from children to wife and husband to brother to loving God himself. There are many, many moments where we have to step out on faith, lower the boats. Ministry. Oh man, this is echoing in your ears. And I don't know of a person, I don't know if I would want to know a person who hasn't had these moments of real fear stepping into ministry. I can tell you, I've been in many church services when I see people praying up at the altar, and I've felt that feeling. You need to go pray with them, but I'm pretty comfortable on the Pequod. I'm pretty happy right where I'm sitting. Lower the boats. Lower the boats. Go out. Step into the unknown. Yes, it's scary. And yes, nothing's guaranteed. It might not go exactly the way you want. They might not pray through right then. You might not have the perfect soliloquy of words, to bless this person with. Lower the boats. Lower the boats. We must go forward. And Jesus says, I send you forth. I'm sending you forth. I'm sending you. This is not you. I'm sending you. This is your calling. Ishmael, you wanted to be here. Bobby, you wanted to be a Christian. And now it's time to do the deal. Lower the boats. If you've got a calling and you're watching this video, take this as a sign. I'm encouraging you. Lower the boats. You're afraid. Good. Starbuck, and he has a great quote that I'll leave you with. We know Bible verses, many have no fear or fear not. But there's also the Bible verses that said there is a particular type of fear that is not only admirable, but it is absolutely necessary. The beginning of wisdom is fear. And that's found in Proverbs 9:10. And the fear of the Lord is clean. That's in Psalms 19:9. And it's saying that not all fear is to just be cast aside. It is some burden. There's a certain fear of the Lord, of being honest, of making sure you're right. Of proving your own self before God's throne. This is all a motive of fear of not being right. We want to hold on to this fear. And this is what Starbuck says. I will have no man in my boat, said Starbuck, who was not afraid of a whale. By this, he seemed to me not only that the most reliable and useful courage was that which arises from a fair estimation of the encountered peril, but that an utterly fearless man is far more dangerous comrade than a coward. I am not encouraging anyone to just run into every situation screaming, lower the boats. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is with every encounter of a situation where you feel God is calling you to get involved, to do the work, to move forward, he is sending you forth. No man should not fear a whale. No, there should be no part of you that is so blinded with courage and self-satisfaction that there isn't moments as the boat is lowering, as this situation is unfolding. Make sure we're right. We make sure we're right. And then once we feel it, lower the boats. Be prayerful. Be wise. And lower the boats. I'm looking forward to this next week. I hope this phrase sticks with you. I hope for the rest of the year, there'll be moments in our lives where we're going through something. We were there, and maybe just in the back, lower the boats. Let's go. Let's go forward. Bring it on Monday. I'll see you in 7 days.